Just as I can't climb inside of any one of your minds, you can't climb inside of mine. I don't want you telling me where I should or shouldn't spend my money. Mr. Mayor, you are a business owner. If I came to your business and told you what vendors you could or couldn't use, you'd show me to the door. I'm confident of that, just as I would. I'm a business owner. I run my home like a business. I choose the company that I choose based on relationships. I've been with them a long time. They take care of me. I want to keep my money local. I think that a lot of time being spent on this trash issue boggles my mind, quite frankly. There's been an ungodly amount of man hours on this topic, and people coming here and telling you what we like or don't like. I mean, really, enough is enough. Figure this thing out. We have two members of the council that know all of the information, yet the entire council is supposed to make a rational vote on it because we can't share information? Are you kidding? That's not statute. If you guys are all in the same committee, same council, you can talk to each other. It doesn't violate any data privacy acts. You can't tell me, okay, because I'm just Joe Blow off the street. But the fact is, if you guys can't communicate with each other, how can you make a rational vote on something that affects, what are we at, 38,000 people or roughly, give or take, in the city? It's absurd. So let's figure this thing out and get done with it and move on to more pressing matters. I gotta give you kudos on Mr. Riggins' development. Beautiful. Okay, the land's been sitting there forever. Beautiful work on everybody that had, part of getting that done. That's where the focus should be of our council. Bringing in revenues, filling vacancies of all the vacant homes we have. I'm a residential realtor. I flip homes, I rehab homes, I do everything I can in part to help rehab communities. We need more money. Okay, and this 500 grand that we're all gonna save is $13. Okay, I don't care about $13. I don't know any of my neighbors that care about $13. I care about you taking my choices from me. Quite frankly, you have no right to tell me what vendors come to my home. Don't tell me that it tears up the streets. Those studies are nonsense. I drove a truck for 12 years over the road. I have over 1 million logged miles under my belt. These guys pay ungodly amount of taxes for all the fees that they pay. Where's that money go? Nobody can really answer that question because and it's not your guys' problem at that level. That's a state level. The money's not getting back to the local governments to build their streets. So my point is this. Let's, as a community, focus on the community. Bring people in, bring businesses in. Focus on bringing revenues into the city. This is an awesome city. I just spent 17 grand on a deck. You think I'm going anywhere? My house ain't gonna appraise. I'm here. I'm here for the long haul. I put 6 kids through our district here.
30 seconds.
Okay, so I'm in it. I'm not your adversary. I'm your constituent. You work for me and my neighbors. Let's work together. Let's quit fighting and the bickering and all that crap. Let's get something done. Let's work together. Thank you.
Diana Longry.
Thank you. Good evening. Diana Longry, resident at 1771 Burr Street, also business owner at 1321 Frost Avenue in Maplewood. I certainly appreciate the concern over letting private data in the proposals for the RFP, keeping that private data private. Question I have is, was that information also redacted for the working group?
We're not going to answer your questions, Diana, so you can continue if you want.
Okay. What leads me to believe that the information wasn't redacted for the working group is the discussion asking if the staff would have enough time to redact the information. So that leads me to believe that all the information that the working group received was not redacted. So was there a bias created because everybody on the working group could see who the proposals were from? It's a question, food for thought. What I really came up here though to discuss was that it's come to my attention that, as you mentioned, that there's been some erroneous information that's been circulating around having to do with trash hauling. And it's come to my attention that some erroneous information has been emailed from a particular John Nephew with regard to a survey having to do with trash hauling that was conducted by myself. And in that email, it alleges that, of course, the only people who were contacted with regard to that were just people who were close to me or people that were my supporters. But first of all, I do want to mention that all of you should recall, first of all, that the survey was published in the August 2009 survey, Maplewood Monthly. It was in here. Mr. Antonin also approved that this letter go out to everybody who answered that survey, okay? And it says here that I wanted to put all of my results in the December issue of the Maplewood Monthly, however, there wasn't enough room. City Manager Antonin approved my idea to send out the results to people who responded or who expressed an interest in the results. This past summer, I either sent or personally delivered approximately 2,500 surveys. The city also published my survey in the August 2009 monthly, Maplewood Monthly. Now initially, in the Maplewood Monthly, it did indicate that at that time, when the survey wasn't completed, that at that time, approximately 69.2% of the respondents said no to government-managed trash collection. After this was published in the Maplewood Monthly, actually that number changed a little bit because you see, more people responded. So it covered whoever received a Maplewood Monthly, the entire city. Okay, not just select people, as Mr. John Nephew has indicated to people in his emails. And the results are at the end and conclusion of this is that it then went to a number of that said no, went to 62.9%, okay? And I think that this is important because you see this actually was a very extensive survey, and the ones that I sent out, which were approximately 2,300, how did I get that information, those addresses? I went to the Secretary of State and I picked the 2,300 households that have the highest level of voting in our city. People who are interested in what goes on in our community. Those were the people who were surveyed. Plus, then anybody else who didn't get one of those surveys, they got their Maplewood Monthly. And then because I thought we still might be missing some people, I just randomly took some blocks and walked around blocks and knocked on every single door. People I didn't know.
30 seconds.
So that is how that survey was conducted. And I just wanted to clarify that because you see, we have a city document here, we have a city document here, which verifies that the information going out by email is inaccurate. So thank you very much.
William Tennis.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Willie Tennis, Tennis Sanitation. I bet you can't guess what I'm going to do. Tonight, things were brought about dates or whatever in the packets. Well, best of my knowledge, we've all worked on this together since August. And so this schedule's been laid out since then. So everybody knew what was supposed to happen on these dates. And best of my knowledge, council gets their packets before tonight so they can read over what's on the agenda. And so I guess my question is, or concern, why would you wait till tonight to tell people you're gonna pull something off the agenda when you've really had plenty of time? I mean, we've known for months what was gonna happen on these dates.
How would you suggest that we would have done that?
Well, I don't know exactly when you get your packets, but isn't it close to a week before?
It is on Thursday usually.
Thursday? Okay.
And so how would you suggest that we would have notified everyone in the city that we might table it?
Well, the big thing today in this day and age is the website.
And do you think everybody in the city?
Not everybody, but
Okay.
you would
Cable.
touch
So
quite a few.
it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah. No matter what you do, you can't reach everybody.
That's correct.
So, anyway, I just thought that. And then, really, tonight, this process could have been stopped if there was a vote not to proceed. Am I incorrect with that? Or if you're not going to answer, that's fine. But I just think that this could have been stopped tonight if the vote would have went that way. Then the other thing on the memorandum thing we got here, your talk of savings from 500 to 800,000, but you're going by the average rates of all the haulers in the city. Well, I guess to get true numbers, between jeans and tennis, we have 49% of the city. So I think in all fairness, you should take our rates compared to what the proposer offered you and take that savings there and then take your average for the other 51%, because I don't know who's got who. But to get a real true number, that would be a better way, because by doing the average of taking the lowest price to the highest price, you're making that number higher. I think if you figured it out different, you'd have a different number there. And then I was just curious if that savings was before or after the city buys the carts.
We don't know that information. We already spent quite a bit of time talking about the fact that there's three of us here that don't know anything about those proposals.
Yeah, well, I guess I was...
And they can't divulge that information. And so why don't you move on?
All right. Thanks for your time. Have a good evening.
Rich Herstein?
Good evening, council members, mayor. I'm Rich Herstein from Allied Waste, and I wanted to thank you for the time and effort, not for the decision that you made, not for the decision that you're about to make in a few weeks, but thank you for the time that you spent on this. It's been a tough, long process, and the members of the commission that were assigned to this task tried to follow the letter of the law and put out an RFP that was fair and legitimate, and I'm very proud to have been the leading proposer at this point in time. But the most important thing I'd like to talk about is that there was a comment about local companies and so forth, and we are a local company. In fact, all of our drivers, all of our dispatchers, all of our route supervisors, all of our customer service people live right here on the east side of the Twin Cities. We have an operation in Inver Grove Heights, which we've had for 25 years, that would be servicing Maplewood out of that spot. I live here, and every other person that's in the Twin Cities that works in this area and that would handle the services for Maplewood live right here. So you may think of us as a big company, but we really are a local company as well. And I thank you for your time and effort that you put into this process, however it may end up. Thank you.
Pete Best?
Kubesh.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Good evening, council, honorable mayor. I talked to the mayor earlier. The garbage, I've been here 6 years. I had a list from you guys at the city hall who I can use. I tried one, it was expensive, he didn't do the job. And one evening, my son and I was having supper, and all of a sudden tennis shows up at the door. totally out of the blue. The guy, I welcomed him in because I was dissatisfied, and I hate to say it, was Ally.
That's enough of that.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah, well.
I'm a straight shot, Bill. I'm a straight shot. I'm
Yes,
just-
well, you need to show a little decorum.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm a straight, anyway, the bottom line is tennis was the most feasible. Secondly, they burned their product. Thirdly, we had stuff over the Christmas. They took care of it in a nice way, never charged us extra. The other company did. I'm just saying this without saying the name. Thank you.
Perfect.
I'm trying to be, I'm new at this, so I'm being straight up. But they have been very professional, they've been clean. On the recycling, I have zero problems with them when they came around. The other party that you had, I called City Hall several times because they never picked up. I'm paying for it and they never even paid up. That struck a nerve that I don't like. When I do something, I'm straight going. And